begin by giving Illinois credit. I thought they were extremely quick to the basketball. They were aggressive. We knew they were going to send 5 to the glass. They do it every game. And because of that, they were able to get it and then toss it back out, paint touch threes, and they got the rhythm, their confidence. So there's a chain reaction where they felt good with their shooting, where they've been struggling to shoot the ball lately. They felt great about their shots, in my opinion, because the ball was coming from the paint, and they knew if I miss it again, we're going to get it again and get it again. So, we've got to bounce back. We've got a quick turn with Maryland, an extremely good basketball team coming in Wednesday. And so we're going to have to figure some things out here in the next couple of days to keep this from happening again.
Tony, you want to start us off?
Yeah, it seems like the game was kind of lost on those rebounds. 19 offensive rebounds, 30 second chance points. Is it the long rebounds? Like you said, the scout is out, so you know what they want to do. I guess what makes it so difficult to stop when it's happening?
I think it's a little bit of everything. We were on our heels. Our communication wasn't great, and so we were broken down because we were late on our switches. And they did a nice job of confusing the switches. But because we weren't able to keep bodies on bodies early, and then we had to go to the zone. So they have a running start. We're trying to meet them closer to the basket. And at the end of the day, when you look at their lineup, Will Riley, Ivicevic, Boswell plays much bigger than his height. Trey White's a big kid. Yakachonis is big. They're big, strong, physical guys. And in a jump ball contest, 15 feet to 18 feet, they won. It seemed like all of them. So even the ones we did block out, they were able to get them back. We just don't have the margin for the ones that we missed, or we weren't aggressive to fly in and tip it or help our teammates out. We just weren't able to overcome those. But once again, I'm giving Illinois a lot of the credit too. Those guys they played really, really connected basketball tonight.
Anthony?
Will said several times the message was look in the mirror after the game. Guys, in your response to today, what does that look like from a program perspective?
If you're asking me if I'm going to look in the mirror, absolutely, that's the first thing that I do, we do as a staff, and try to figure out what we could have done differently to learn from it, and then what can we do immediately to fix it, because it's not as if you're going to make roster accusations or anything like that this time of year. So this is our team. How do we fix these issues? And sometimes the matchups, they present some challenges from what their strengths are to what our built-in weaknesses are, and so you have to be more determined, you have to be more connected, you have to play better offense to still be able to find a way to win, and we didn't do that tonight.
Chris?
I don't want to give you excuses, but do you think this team might be a little bit tired physically or mentally at this point?
I think everyone in the country is emotionally and mentally fatigued right now. Our season is long, with the exception of the 1 or 2% of guys that are obsessed with it, that love it, that this is it. Other than that, yes, and we're not using it as an excuse. We had time off earlier in the year. Whether we used it wisely enough, I'm not sure. But our tough stretch with the number of games is now, and we're not the deepest team when you get past our top 5 or top 6, and Ruben hasn't played in a couple games and all that, but that's what everyone's going through. That's what Illinois that's what they went through this year, and now it looks like they're healthy at the right time. But as we talked about as a group, we still have an opportunity to compete for 3 more championships. We're in contention to compete for 3 more championships. So if nothing else will motivate you or inspire you or to get over that emotional or physical fatigue, then you're not built for it anyway.
George?
With due credit to Illinois, as you said, what disappointed you the most about your team's response to Illinois growing?
The thing that I was most disappointed in is when they did get a rebound, we dropped our heads. We didn't dig in and fight harder. And guys, sometimes the ball just goes, there are a couple, air balls are hard to rebound. From a defensive standpoint, you're trying to get a hit, you're trying to find the ball, and it lands. So there were a couple bad bounces. There were a couple that were just, like I said, it's a 6'9" guy versus a 6'1" guy. But there were others where we just didn't get in the fight enough, and so it's a accumulation of all that stuff. But they have a good team. That's something that's not lost on our staff or players, and so to overcome some of those things, we have to be on our front foot a lot more just bouncy and energetic and anticipate what's about to happen at a higher level.
Andrew?
Steve, given how close you are with Vlad, what was your reaction to him reuniting with his parents?
Oh, wow, that was as touching as any win that I've ever had as been a part of as a coach or whatever. Just to see, these guys, I mean, we all do. We chase opportunities. We make sacrifices. You guys are all here because you've made sacrifices. The coaches have made sacrifices. And so Vlad, for 5 years, hasn't seen his family. I don't know of a bigger sacrifice you could have as a great human being like he is. So to see them, how proud they are of him, and it was a touching moment. It was a touching moment. There's a lot of work from a lot of people, our administration, our staff, put a lot of man hours to figure out a way to help Vlad get his family here. So we're very grateful for all that. That was a special moment, and just to see a mother's pride in her son was a really cool moment.
Charles?
Yeah, what do you think is the best way to get the offense kind of balanced out again? It seems like Vlad has been carrying the load recently.
Well, that's something that we are trying to comb through now. He's got it going, but coming down and just trying to force feed it into the post, everyone else gets stagnant and static. You lose your rhythm of the game. And so that's something, as we look at the film, we've got to figure out the balance of it, and probably the answer is when we do get stopped, we got to make more of a conscious effort to give him a look and hopefully play off that overreaction. I thought we did in the second half. We got it into him, and then maybe the second or third media timeout, we had an overreaction. Danny got a layup out of it. But at the end of the day, we're not finishing well around the rim. We're not converting on our free throws. We're still not shooting the ball well from 3, 4 of 18 again. And so with that being the case, you've got to figure out some things. And for us to shoot the ball as well as we did for majority of the year, and then in the last month really just not make shots is a little bit mystifying. But our guys are in the gym. They're working. So we'll have to find that balance.
Take two more. We'll go Clayton and then Tony.
Vlad included, can you just talk about the foundation that this senior class has set for you guys in your first season here, even guys that have just been here for several months?
Yeah, I don't really want to reflect on the foundation they've laid because this thing's still being poured today. So I'd love to answer that hopefully in 4, 5, 6 weeks, whatever it is, when the season's over. But I'll get back with you on that one.
Tony?
Yeah, do you need more out of your guards? And I wonder if you could speak individually to Trey and Roddy, who just haven't been what they were early.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just start with the rebounding. If you're going to be an elite transition offensive team, it begins with getting stops and guards rebounding, and they're not rebounding at the level that we need them to be a championship level team. I think everyone on our roster has more in the tank, including them. I think I can coach better and perform better. I think everyone on our roster can play and perform better. So I don't really want to single those guys out. Individually, I think everyone on our roster knows that we can play better than we're playing right now. And just like Illinois did today, you never know when that moment is going to be there for you really just to find your niche and get healthy and find that rhythm again.